The pyramid in the all-seeing eye. An ancient occult symbol that shows up in religion, churches, Egypt, alchemy, on money, artwork, logos, crop circles, business models, architecture, food, pharma, government, and fraternal organizations. Why?
10% of the public loathes the Masons, and there's not a thing we're going to do to change their minds. 10% of the public hates the Masons, and there's not a thing we're going to do to change their minds. 80% of the public has never heard of us, has no idea who we are and what we do, and that is the audience we're targeting.
I was an FBI agent for 27.5 years. At the time of my retirement, I was the senior special agent in charge of the FBI Los Angeles Division. I have been qualified in the courts as an expert on cults and satanic ritual abuse. I have information from various sources that judges, law enforcement, prosecutors, attorneys, doctors, and many prominent individuals, including actors, actresses, professional football and baseball players, are involved in these type activities. So what's happening in America, and based on my research and my interviews with numerous individuals, is that the powers that be, the higher-ups, the people in the Illuminati, are using the satanic cults as a means and as a tool to condition individuals and to make them victims of the mind control, MK Ultra mind control program. There's probably close to 4 million practicing Satanists in the United States alone, based on my intelligence information.
My next guest was used also in worshiping the devil, participated in human sacrifice rituals and cannibalism. She says her family has been involved in rituals for generations.
Right. I was born into a family that believes in this.
And does everyone else think it's a nice Jewish family? From the outside, you appear to be a nice Jewish girl.
Definitely.
And you all are worshiping the devil inside the home?
Right. There's other Jewish families across the country. It's not just my own family.
Really? You have to give us the gory details, but what kinds of things went on in the family?
Well, there would be rituals in which babies would be sacrificed, and you would have to, you know...
Whose babies?
There were people who bred babies in their family. No one would know about it. A lot of people were overweight, so you couldn't tell if they were pregnant or not. Or they would supposedly go away for a while and then come back. The other thing I want to point out, not all Jewish people sacrifice babies. I mean, no. That's not a...
The purpose of sacrifice is to what? Is to bring you what? What are you sacrificing for?
For power.
Power. And so, were you ever used? Were you ever used yourself?
I was molested. I was raped several times. Me to it. Both of my parents brought me to it.
And where is she now?
She lives in the Chicago metropolitan area. She's on the Human Relations Commission of the town that she lives in, and she's an upstanding citizen. Nobody would suspect her.
Dark Secrets Inside Bohemian Grove. A British documentary film company, World of Wonder, also covered our investigation. The news spread across the planet that the Bohemian Grove had been blown wide open and that their secrets were public. The people were amazed. They were amazed to learn that many U.S. presidents and British prime ministers, German chancellors, the Hollywood elite, the heads of business and academia, Federal Reserve chairmen were traveling to the Grove each year, and that presidents had been going there since the turn of the last century in 1900. They were shocked by each new revelation of ritualistic depravity. Finally, we learned that the Grove was only one chapter in a larger, worldwide secret society hell-bent on bringing in a one-world government. What would the people do if they knew that the majority of the leaders in the corporate world, as well as government, were deep occultists?
Here is the main central part of the ritual.
The owl is in his leafy temple. Let all within the grove be reverent before him. Aye. Let them join us in this ritual, a 10-hour tale. Gather, ye forest folk, and cast your spell over these mortals. As vanished Babylon and goodly Tyre, so shall they also vanish. Bohemians and priests, the desperate call of heavy hearts is answered. By the power of your fellowship, dull care is slain. Wow. Great son of all mortal wisdom, Owl of Bohemia, we beseech thee, grant us thy counsel.
Babylon mystery religion. All of the elements are there. Of course, even the owl is a symbol of ancient mystery Babylon. The owl was worshipped by the ancient Egyptians and by the Babylonians.
In the fall of 2004, while in New York to cover the Republican National Convention, we ran into David Gergen, the Karl Rove of 4 presidential administrations.
Okay, one last question. I read a Washington Times article many years ago where you had a comment about the organization, and then now it's been in the Wall Street Journal, it's been in a lot of different newspapers, and that's the Bohemian Grove. And back in, what was it, 1996, when you joined as a Clinton advisor, the Republicans were criticizing you. Oh, what about Bohemian Grove? And then you countered them by saying, "Hey, I don't run around in the woods naked." What did that mean?
Here is a before-mentioned Washington Times article where he said, "I didn't run around naked like they do."
I don't know what quote you're referring to. I'm not aware of any quote like that. Listen, I am a happy member of the Bohemian Grove. I like the folks who come there, and it's really inappropriate for me to talk about the group beyond that. Thank you.
Have you been there for the ceremony with the cremation of care?
Frankly, I don't think that's something I need to talk to you about.
Really?
That's right.
Well, I'm Alex Jones, and I snuck in there in 2000. I'm the guy that blew it wide open. We got the video. It's been on national TV.
Well, I disrespect you for that.
You do?
I do.
But it's a lot of big public officials going in there. Don't we deserve enough?
That was not a gentlemanly thing to do.
But what about the ritual? Is the ritual genuinely?
Sir, everything. I don't owe you this comment.
I know.
This is what's called ambush journalism, and I disrespect you for that as well. So thank you and goodbye.
Been the ritual?
It's none of your damn business.
Look how strangely he behaved when we brought it up. Why is he acting so secretive? Why did he get so angry when he discovered that we'd snuck in? You see, they take it very, very seriously.
And now, for the concluding segment of this filmatic visit to the House of the Temple, it is my sincere pleasure and honor to present to you the distinguished and illustrious Henry C. Clausen, 33rd degree, Sovereign Grand Commander, the Supreme Council 33rd degree, ancient and accepted Scottish rite of Freemasonry. Brother Clausen.
Sometimes it's asked, what is the mission of the Scottish rite? The powers, forces, and energies can be discovered if we search deeply enough. They were to be found in all parts of the world, such as the mysteries of Isis and Osiris in Egypt. We also search for an ultimate mystic union with the deity. And for that purpose, we reveal and apply in our degrees from the 4th to the 33rd the ancient wisdom, esoteric knowledge that comes to us over long, drifting centuries. Our Scottish rite, therefore, delves deeply into philosophy and metaphysics. The modern Scottish rite of the mother jurisdiction has found the keys to esoteric knowledge, and therefore it is the direct, true descendant and the survivor of the ancient mysteries.
Satanism as a religion came about sometime around 1966 when Anton Szandor LaVey created the Church of Satan and authored the Satanic Bible.
Some of these rituals consist of recreations of old ceremonies that have been practiced for centuries. We recreate the ceremonies of the Knights Templars, a noble group of gentlemen who, because of social pressures, made it very obvious that they were the standard bearers of Christianity. We recreate many of these ceremonies. We also recreate many of the ceremonies of the West Indian Voodoo religion. And we also utilize Norse ritual, the casting of the runes, calling upon of Wotan and Thor and Loki and all of the gods and demigods of the northern regions. We're in the very throes of a new satanic age. The evidence is all around us. All we have to do is look at it.
Manly P. Hall, 33rd degree, in his classic textbook, The Lost Keys of Freemasonry, page 78, says something very interesting about Freemasonry. He says, when the Mason learns that the key is the proper application of the dynamo of living power, he has learned the mystery of his craft. The seething energies of Lucifer are in his hands. The Masons seek the seething energy of their master, Lucifer.
I would like to ask the representatives of the Society of Inner Light and of the SOL if they're allowed to tell us about the practical work, what they do in their society, how they develop their members in higher states of consciousness.
So far as the Society of the Inner Light is concerned, it was founded by Dion Fortune back in 1924. And the work that is contained is in the training of the magical tradition. It involves a lot of training, probably about 3 years before the initiation, and then about 3 years post-initiation training. It does teach magical techniques, that is true. You are trained with various magical techniques. You can invoke. It's easy for anybody to invoke. The difficulty is being able to shut the door afterwards, and so few can. And this is where we have a number of problems associated with these occult or magical things.
The Masonic world of truth. Some of us have been asking questions. What is that relationship between Freemasonry and the world of truth? It happens to be a Masonic lodge. And the chairs in the Masonic lodge, there's one over here with the gentleman sitting on it, an empty one. There are two that belong back here. Each one of those is positioned in the exact arrangement as the points on the tree of life, on the Kabbalah.
Hi, my name is Paula. I'm calling from Dallas, Texas. I want to ask the Kabbalah something. Isn't Kabbalah Jewish mysticism?
Kabbalah is a science about the upper world, the spiritual world. In short, we're speaking about forces that act in the spiritual realm, not in our corporeal realm, not in our universe, but in the spiritual realm, in the spiritual dimension.
People from all religions, we must understand that our common enemy are the secret societies. Not because of their belief in Lucifer, but because they plot against our freedom. To secret societies, we say this: we know who you are and where your meetings are. Wake up before it's too late for all of us.